All right, so I'm about to jump into an interview with director, producer, artist Ryan LaMarr, Angie Rose, Fern of the Social Club Misfits, and Jadi Torres, and they are part of the soundtrack of the new film North of the Ten. So they're going to speak a little bit about the music video.
But yeah, with Red Guerilla being like literally a black and brown company, my producer partner and label partner and production partner, Dr. Garnes, being from Panama and like really representing that and wanting people to understand that we always are looking for the Latin culture to be exemplified and definitely brought to the forefront when we're doing projects. And so we also kind of always lean in the faith adjacent space. And so working on this record, like hearing Jotty's original, Mi Gente record, and then always kind of vibing with it. And then Fern and Angie have been so vocal about acting. Like there's only been like three people that have said these exact frame. They literally, it's funny. It's literally been a text. Yo, if you have another movie, I want to act. Put me in a movie. Like let me know I'm serious. Fern texts me that. Angie texts me that, and Jotty texts me that. So I'm like, and it's always been the same. All right, cool. I got you. And like a week later, they're like in the movie that's
Yeah.
coming out. You know, Fern texted me that on Canal Street, and like a week later or 2 weeks later, he was like in the movie, and he opens up the movie with other people, and it was the same thing with this film. And now Fern is like actually like he's playing a role in this movie. It's a little, it's a little different. He had people dying in Atlanta last night, by the way, bro.
Yeah, that's
So
beautiful.
yeah, and then Angie and then Jotty play real, characters in the film. And for me, I'm always trying to like um cross over and cross things over. And so Jotty already kind of laid up the project. And so it was nothing to get kind of sit back and just A&R and let Ma just produce this amazing track. And so just kind of coming together in that. So when I was talking with Justin, I was like, it'd be dope to, because we're always going to try to keep staying our roots, you know what I mean, in these CHH roots, no matter where we go, you know what I mean? We're always going to try to come back here because I feel like me and you and Chad have had that conversation before, Justin, about like people not naming any names, but people will go and they'll forget, and so we always want to make sure that we're coming back and remembering, who's been down with us since the jump, which is Rapzilla. And so, what a record like, with Jotty featuring Fern and Angie on this track, it's an amazing record. You know what I mean? And it's right in line with what you all do over at Rapzilla. So that is why I wanted to have this, so when the single drops next week, we can already get a jump on it, and then you all can kind of talk about it. So, and I just think it's a dope idea to have artists that are in the Christian space step into the secular arena, and when it comes to film, because this is a very commercial film. It's not Canal Street.
Right.
So
No, it makes sense 100%. You always kind of create a soundtrack or music for all of the film projects that you're working on. So what was the vision, kind of behind this one, and how much more music can we expect coming out of this project?
what was the vision of the soundtrack?
I guess the vision of the soundtrack, how many more songs are going to be, tied to the movie, and why is this a thing that you do? Because most people don't.
I'm not most people.
I know.
Um, because I think music, it's music first, and it's film second. And so I think from a musical mind when I'm creating even visuals. And so if I'm creating a film, I'm seeing the music first. Like we just had a record drop today called Fancy Life, and like me and Mod like mapped out that record because it's literally how I wanted the movie to feel. So if you feel the song, it's literally how the movie feels. You know what I mean? And so for me, like creating content, like there's a reason why I got music notes on my wrist. Like it's in me, it's in my blood, from everywhere. It's just music is just like instrumental in my life. It's like my jazz. You know what I mean? Like I think in music. So I'm always kind of visualizing things, and so when I'm able to like play with people, it's special to me. You know what I mean? So I think big all the time. You know, I don't think small. I think big. You know, and so music enables you to create beyond uh, visual, if that makes sense.
You're all are in a movie. Fern, I know it's your second movie already. So
Thank God. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so like, to be honest, man, I just put up a story. I was like, yo, Ryan, I appreciate you, bro. Like every single time. It's like he always includes me. It's insane.
yeah, you all have a song coming out, "Pa Mi Gente." My
That's right.
Spanish is terrible, so I'm gonna let you all pick it up. But how did aside from that text to Ryan saying you want to be involved with the project, how did you all get together, or not get together, but actually get involved in this song, and what went into creating your specific parts? We can
Um,
start with oh, Angie, you started talking. Was
Daddy
that you?
did.
Oh, that was Jotty. Okay, Jotty. So
Yeah.
we'll start with you, and then we'll go Angie, Fern.
Yeah, so Justin, I actually had this song was a part of my EP that I dropped in late July. Um, it was just a regular, it was probably like the hype track on the EP, and it it did more than I thought it would do, to be completely honest with you. When it started kind of like gravitating towards the ears of like being cute for different things. I had already hit up Ryan in regards to the film because he had been speaking about it. I mean, this film started being filmed sometime earlier last year. Um, and so when he heard the project, the connection that we have with Mod as a producer was kind of like, what served this purpose, because when he heard from Mi Gente, he was like, well, why don't we remix this track? And that's where it comes into the A&Ring that he spoke about a little earlier before he left. He had this amazing idea of, I already knew Fern. We had already worked on something for another track that I had put out called Desahogo. Fern was actually the amazing male actor in the mini film. So it was really cool. We had a connection since before then. Angie and I have been friends on social media for a while, and actually got to connect even more with getting this track together. So when Ryan mentioned their names, I was like, absolutely, without a doubt, let's get them involved in it. And then, of course, Ryan, the amazing director that he is, he's also amazing as an artist as well.
Yeah.
I respect his craft a lot. And so to just involve everyone, Maji was the producer, but he's also an amazing artist as well. Like, we have all these different people that have so many different talents, and we were able to involve them all. And it just worked out perfectly. Got the track sent out to the guys, and they literally killed it within a few days. They were in the studio recording, and it was just a matter of remixing the track, and it just worked out. Like, I can't wait. If you haven't heard it yet, I can't wait for you to actually hear what they all did. Killed it. Spanish, English, everything, like all around. It was just, the track is so dope.
And like I said, I'm blessed to know Ryan. Ryan just, we talk all the time when movies are in play, when they're out of play, we're just friends. He texted me when I finished, doing this film for him and doing this video for him. He had texted me on the WhatsApp like, yo, thank you for being my real friend. Cause like we do, it's more than the movies and stuff. We stay in each other's lives and we really talk for real. So when he hit me, he literally just texted me. He's like, man, I got signed for you, man. And he told me it was with my sister Jotty again. I was all in, you know what I'm saying? We got history. We've been making history. And so it was nothing to get on another track. And it was dope. And I love being in the movie. I knew I was gonna be in the movie. And so I always loved kind of like, you know how like you see the video that plays at the end of the movie with the credits rolling. I always wanted to be a part of that. So if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking maybe this video plays around that part. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to go home right away, eat the rest of the popcorn and drink the rest of the soda, even though I'm alkaline vegan and I don't eat none of that. But if you bought some, you can finish it because we're gonna bring more entertainment. Jotty got more things to say. Angie got some things to say. I got some things to say. Ma G got some things to say. Brian put it together. I feel like we was the Avengers, you know what I'm saying? We put it together. And I'm just honored to be a part of it. I love to be included in this stuff. I'm just blessed, man. I'm blessed.
Fern's gonna be sitting there with a container of like crispy
Rocking.
chickpeas.
You already know,
Crispy
hey, my
chickpeas.
man, or some cashews roasted.
I already know. I'm watching your Instagram stories. All right,
I'm
Angie.
coming back.
Angie, what about you? What about you?
No, I mean this same answer. One day I've been like traveling the country, and one day I was driving from Cali down to Phoenix, and I missed Ryan. Real talk. So I just gave him a call, and we started chatting or whatever. And then he was like, "Dude, I'm doing this," and I'm like, "No way!" They just started telling me about acting. I've been getting more into it now. It's fun, and I low-key didn't even realize how much of a resource Ryan is, because much like Fernie said, like it's just like a friend. Like you hit him up, you say hi, you keep, and then we started really chatting, and I just got so excited, and he got excited, and like I don't know, a couple days later we booked a flight and we did it.
Essentially, you're working on as part of the score of a movie. Has that elevated your creativity as artists individually? Like artistically, musically, are you almost approaching your music now as like it's got to be cinematic, like it's got to be this big thing?
I love being a part of the score of a film. Like I got a buddy of mine, conductor, that great producer, and we always talked about scoring films, but to actually be on the soundtrack, I'm reminded of like the Fight Club soundtrack, which is one of my favorite soundtracks. And just like I couldn't believe I was buying a CD based on the songs from a movie. So it's just to be a part of a soundtrack on a film, it goes back to nostalgia. It goes back to just like being a kid and always having those goals. When you want to be an artist, these are the type of things you want to be a part of, So just being on this song and being part of a soundtrack of a dope movie with my man Don Benjamin too, who's a great guy, man. He's been killing it for many years. For those who don't know him, he's a guy from America's Next Top Model back in the days. Tyra Banks, picked him out. And it just feels awesome to be a part of an excellent project done by excellent people who've been really putting in the work and the education to better their crafts. And you can see Jody, she's been doing this for a minute too, and everybody's just been getting better and better, putting out more content and really trying to stick to the consistency. And I can finally say that I can say the word consistency finally, because that's something that I'm trying to attain this year, and really just coming back into my social media form and just understanding that my voice matters and I needed to be more vocal and more present. But being a part of this is one of those steps that I could take to be more involved into that. So being part of this movie just was something special. And I know the cast feels the same. I know Angie feels the same and Jada feels the same. To be part of this is so beautiful because there's just so much more than music to us, to be part of a movie, to be part of actually having some speaking lines. There's just so many things we want to achieve beyond music and then represent the kingdom in different facets of the marketplace. So, North of the 10 was just a beautiful opportunity to do that.
Really elevates your artistry. I think I don't even speak for just myself, but like, anybody that's part of this soundtrack, it elevates your artistry because even when I write now, it's more than just having your song out or your lyrics out for people to hear it from the music point. But now you have moviegoers, you have, people that don't necessarily listen to you, even your type of music, but because it's part of a soundtrack now, you get to include yourself in their life because they're listening to something new. And so right now, even the way that I'm thinking about for my following projects, like I want to make music. It's motivating me to write music and lyrics that could potentially be part of a film. You know what I'm saying? Like you write with that vision now to just, this could be more than just an EP. This could be more than just a single or a dope video that I'm putting out. Like it could be part of something huge, like North of the 10 is. I think we're all blessed by just being part of this soundtrack and the ridiculous amount of star-studded, like all stars that are going to be part of this soundtrack, which is not even, it's crazy. It's just insane to be with the people that are going to be in this soundtrack alone. It's definitely elevated for me.
It like sync stuff was like a strong suit. I know that I'm like relatively loud and whatever, but I didn't know that was gonna work for like movies. So for me, I think I just found like a very fun place to live in musically. And also like writing for movies is cool because you almost get like a brief or something. Like you get to be a little more specific. In this case, it was a little different, but not really because I picked off of almost Jadi's brief. Like when I got the record in, it's like, okay, this is what the record's about. So writing for movies to me is really fun because you can be specific, you can just get in, say what you got to say. But also it's the sounds, it's just now I know that one, I have a strong suit I didn't know I have, but two, there's a soundscape that is so fun, you know.
A while back, Ryan had told me about the song, but I didn't really know the details. I didn't even know that you three were in the movie until like an hour ago. I just thought it was a music video. And he was like, "Yeah, I got the track, Angie, Jody, Fern, and George Lopez." And I'm like, "What is George Lopez supposed to be doing like on the track?" Like I didn't know that this was whole part of the movie. But
Oh, yeah.
but even to say that, um, you all are obviously Latino, Latina, myself. Like you have George Lopez that you actually got to work with in a movie, not even just like, hey, we were on set. Like you were in a movie with George Lopez, one of the biggest Hispanic figures probably known in the world. That's gotta, mean something.
Oh yeah. You take a moment and kind of like breathe through it, and like I can't wait for you guys to actually see how they pieced it all together. Like Fernie was saying, like this video is going to be the closing piece of the film. So when you go to watch the film, don't leave after the credits start rolling, because the video is going to play out, and you don't want to miss like the dopeness that happened. We had so much fun shooting. It was just a whole vibe. It felt like familia,
That was fun.
like literally we were just vibing. It was just so much fun during the video shoot. So I think we incorporated what the it of the song "For My People" by Mi Gente is.
It's a creative thing in itself, right? Because usually the credits roll and a song plays, not a music video, not like an
Right.
extension of the movie. So that's kind of like another way to even elevate. And I wonder if you'll see people kind of copying his idea, that sort of idea going forward, because
It's
it
a good
seems like
idea. I might copy it. No,
it's a
I'm
good
just kidding.
idea. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And, you wouldn't even think about it. So now, I mean, even just getting to know Ryan and sort of the films he's connected with and the people that he's bringing in there, you kind of like, you look left, you look right, and there seems to be Christians everywhere, all over the movie industry, the music industry. Um, so like, do you even feel like it's this thing anymore when people are just like, oh, there's a Christian on the movie? Because I feel like, there's all these taboos, but I feel like it's not even taboo anymore. Like Christians are
You know
kind of
what?
elevated.
No taboo, man, because you know what? We're just artists. We're creatives just like anybody. So here's what happens. Your favorite creative, like Wesley Snipes or whatever. I mean, I don't know what his religion is, you know what I'm saying? So I don't need anybody to just jump at me and stereotype me on my religion. Obviously I love Jesus and that's what it is. But if I'm a creative and I'm an artist, I'm gonna want to do all types of different things. So I think that taboo is definitely gone. I feel like, we're all being respected in all different facets of the marketplace. We've made our mark. Shout out to all the big guys who have come before us. You know what I mean? Shout out to my brother Torres Wells, who put up a beautiful piece of content the other day, of a video that we shot about 2 years ago, probably pre-pandemic. But we were all together. Tebow, Rich Wilkerson Jr., just a bunch of us, a bunch of other people. I can't even remember off the top of my head right now. But I just feel like it's just time for Christians to be normalized in the marketplace. We love Jesus, but we also love to act. We also want to make music. My producer buddies, we make beats. My content creators, they're recording like beasts out there. So at the end of the day, we love Jesus, and if they want to talk about that, that's what we want to talk about. But at the end of the day, we want to work too. So we're gonna act. We're gonna do everything anybody else is doing. I never get on the set and ask, hey man, what's your religion? So I'm hoping that I don't even know if that ever was a thing, and if it was, I really hope it's definitely gone, because we coming through to represent all different parts of the marketplace.
One of my favorite things, Justin, is being able to get on a project like this. Even with like being in Atlanta last night for that first premiere, it was so cool to me, because people come up to you and they're not seeing a Christian just by walking up to you. They don't know you're Christian just by walking up to you, but they see you a part of the movie. And then somewhere along the line, if you're having a conversation with them and you happen to mention Jesus, or they hear your music, or they follow you on social media and they see your trajectory and they see your lifestyle and they see all that stuff, it speaks volumes, because we're not just here to like, I really dislike when you can put somebody in a box, when you place somebody in a box and just say, well, they're Christian, so they can't do this, they can't do the other, they can't do the other. To me, it's just like the taboo stuff that we're talking about. It's non-existent to me. Like, you can't tell me that there's one thing that I can't do because I'm Christian and this person is able to do it in this way. I know what I'm bringing to the table, and I know that at the end of the day, my lifestyle is what's going to be reflected in anything that I do. Um, it doesn't limit me to being part of film. It doesn't limit me to being in a certain place, because my lifestyle is going to be my lifestyle. That's what I'm reflecting. I'm reflecting Jesus in everything that I do, regardless of the fact. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm done with that whole taboo of you're Christian, so you can't act. You're Christian because so you can't be in a commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's just non-existent anymore.
Yeah, I think so many people kind of, you mentioned that box. They look at it. Oh, you're on Rapzilla. You are a Christian rapper. Like, God forbid you wind up on Complex or something like that. Or
Right.
oh, you were nominated for a Dove Award. That's a Christian award. It's like, yeah, but why can't I get an award that's not made for, like why can't I go get a Grammy? Like, how come there's
Right.
that? So yeah, exactly. Kind of, Fern, how you said you don't show up on set. Like, hey guys, Christian here. Just be
Right.
careful how we
Yeah,
film.
you know what I
It just
mean?
Right.
very
Right.
sensitive ears.
Yeah, I got dreams, I got goals I want to inspire, and the Lord, He strengthens me to do those things. You know what I mean? And that's what we doing. We moving. This year we moving a lot, man. I look forward to seeing all my young entrepreneurs, all my young Christians out there in the marketplace attacking it and representing. There's just so many dope opportunities out here now in the landscape. So especially now, I know a lot. I was going off of social media for a minute, but I'm definitely seeing all the different opportunities that I'm already seeing, just jumping back in. So for those who have been consistent, kudos to y'all, because man, this is crazy out here on this internet right now. So much going on.
I see you with the NFTs.
Yeah,
I
and it's
see you and
really a
Marty.
real deal, man. I'm really gonna follow through on that, man. Me and Jack and Josh really gonna do it, and at the end, we're gonna mint them up and make them really limited, and whoever gets them gets them.
You, Angie, anything to add to that?
A lot. No, I think I'm with Jody in the sense of like she kind of said it's like non-existent. I think that's a good term, but not because it's non-existent. It's just that our worlds, right? The worlds that we're creating and living in. That's kind of what I was grabbing for you from what you were saying, sis. But like in the paradigms that we live in and the worlds that we're deciding to, like the people that we're deciding to be. For me, it's like, yo, that's just not out of all the thoughts that I can fit in my head, this is not one of the beneficial ones. Like, you're never gonna see me force myself into being a Christian because I'm a Christian. You're never gonna see me like, oh, make sure y'all know I'm Latina. Make sure y'all, like, it's just, yo, it is what it is. Like, you're gonna know, you're gonna see it before we start something. I'm gonna pray, I pray you don't have a problem with it. Like, there's none of it shifts who I am. And I think that us learning to stand in our real identity, not the like, let me put the Christian hat on, more like the Christian blood is in me. Like, this is my DNA. So I don't have to put a fit on. I think that is what's breaking the taboo. Because people like now are not coming in like, yo, I'm the Christian and we're going to kill this for the kingdom. It's like, yo, I'm here. And then you kill it for the kingdom. You don't have to talk.
Yeah. So what about oftentimes, and I know this is harping on this a little bit, but I think this is the conversations that the Rapzilla audience needs to hear. Kind of like, oh, you can't be of the world. You can't draw things from secular spaces. But at the same time, you three have been able to work as Christians within those secular spaces without compromising anything. So what are things that you've learned and that you think Christians can do better, or actually learn from people who aren't like confining themselves in that box?
In the Spanish market, I know that Fern and Angie have been mixed in more as part of like the English culture, and then incorporating the Latino side to them, and even like with their music whenever they do something in Spanish. But to me, predominantly, my artistry was brought out in specifically Spanish music, and so there's always been a lot of like, I don't know if it's like this like back and forth or this struggle with like Spanish Christian artists working together. I really don't understand why. I've always tried to break the rule and break that taboo of like, what is it that's going on, like the discord that happens. And I think if there's something to learn from the secular artists, I don't even like calling it like that, but like, you know, artists that are not doing God music, is the togetherness that they seem to have. Like there's a cohesiveness that happens in their artistry where I don't know if like the threat is just not there. It's just about making good music, and at the end of the day, for me, what it's mainly been about is just connecting with dope individuals, like dope artists, like Fernie, like Angie. Like there's so many more like artists that have so much dope stuff going on right now, and it's just connecting to make a dope record, to put some dope lyrics together and put that out for people that don't know Christ, to, you know, to get to know who it is, because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. It's not about you know, just making some cool music because we want to have some cool music out. Like, no, at the end of the day, what the purpose is serving for us to make some dope music with the storyline for you to understand why we do what we do. And we are dope regardless of the fact, but we are Christians that do dope music. So to me, it's just been like, I wish we could somehow grow closer together, like like there be more cohesiveness in this market of what we're doing, and learn how to work together and expand the kingdom. Like there's no reason why we shouldn't be having sold out arenas, you know what I'm saying, sold out soccer arenas and baseball stadiums and all sorts of stuff that is happening out in the secular world. Like there's no reason why none of that should be happening. We are dope. There's some dope artists in this market all over the place. We should have full arenas doing all these things. You know what I'm saying? Like those type of things, I would love to see that.
I don't know, man. At the end of the day, I feel like everything just needs to be done in excellence. If everything is done in excellence, then we'll be able to achieve a lot. You know what I mean? It comes down to just as easy as showing up on time to interviews, and had a little technical difficulties, and I take accountability for that. But you know, simple as showing up, you know, on time to interviews and doing the diligence and doing the education to be, you know, as good as you can in your craft, you know. But there's just so many people in the craft as well. It's just about standing out and just being excellent, you know, putting in the time. You got them 10,000 hours in, you know what I mean? I know I got them, you know what I'm saying? I know I put in 10,000 hours, probably again, 10,000 times. You know what I'm saying? I recorded a song today before this meeting, and I just encourage all my young artists out there, continue to be excellent. If you want to really excel in this game and take it to the next level, all you got to do is mean what you say and take it to the next level by being excellent. So that's what I would say.
I think just as a quick one, you said, is there anything that we could learn from like the secular industry? I think the easiest answer without having to do fluff is like, yeah, dude, like they're actually winning. They're like, their business models are working. Their formulas, their rollouts, they're like, so like learn everything is my answer. Like even if it's bad, like I want to know what I'm not supposed to do and what I'm like, oh, that doesn't work. I want to know why it doesn't work. I think I can make it like a religious thing. I feel like any Christian, but like any human that doesn't know how to like appreciate the ability to learn from anybody, right? Any situation you're in, then you are not as good as you as you could be. It's literally impossible. If like nobody, you could be the most amazing. If you don't respect and honor the opportunities that you're provided with to learn, then you'll never be great. Period.
You know, now that you have this relationship with Ryan, you're in his film, you're involved with this music project. What's sort of the next trajectory for you in terms of like Angie Rose, the actress, or Angie Rose getting into film and doing all that?
Yeah, well, I did headshots for the first time yesterday. So we'll see. I've never done anything like acting or like modeling or none of that stuff, but I'm super down. Like when I say that you suck, you suck if you don't learn, right? Like when I say that those things, like, you know, you're not going to be as great as you can be if you're not willing to learn, I mean them. So I follow that rule by like, oh, let's try doing, like, even right now I'm in the studio with Samuel Ash, shout out, working on a record, but they're stretching me. And like the weak part of me would be like, no, that's not what I do. I'm going to do this. Versus the other side of me that's like, I am afraid and intimidated about acting. I'm afraid and intimidated about modeling, and I'm still going to go. So that's that.
I feel like I always wanted to do some some kind of theater or some kind of acting. I always remember being in the church plays back in the day. I always used to be good at memorizing all the lines. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to continue doing that. You know, I wound up doing whatever I did in life. But now that I get to settle in and really, you know, be a creative how I want to be, you know, and have the opportunities through a friend in the business, man, it's nothing more beautiful than that, you know? So I'm just happy to be able to, you know, try it out second time around here. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to the third, fourth, fifth, man. I love doing it. And Ryan and Red Guerilla, they always make it real easy, super easy and super comfortable to work, always on set. Shout out to Reggie Hunter, always, you know what I mean? They're excellent people on set, always making you feel like an actor, making you feel, I mean, you are achieving that, you know what I'm saying? But they make you feel like you're already there, man. They make you feel like family. So it's always been a privilege to record with them. And I feel like it's super dope for me to be able to come uh, up in the ranks through Red Guerilla and through Ryan, you know what I'm saying, as I, you know, continue to do more. But I am going to start this year taking some acting lessons and really take accountability for, you know, getting better at my craft. Shout out to my sister Angie Rose on that too. So,
You know, I could climb on Angie's back on this one because it's all about that. Like, if you're not willing to learn something new, if you're not willing to up your creativity, your artistry, you're just gonna stay stuck in the same spot. And then, like, you know, if there's no growth, then what more is there to you? Everything from here is just growth. Like, we continue to elevate every single time. Today we worked on a movie. Tomorrow we're gonna work on 2 films. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's next? It's not staying stuck in the same place. I'm with Fernie too when he's saying on the acting lessons and all that. You know, like, this is just the beginning. There's so much more to everything that we could do. Acting, entrepreneurs, starting businesses. You know, seeing residual income out of everything that we're doing. Like, we're heads, we're not tails. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of things like that that I visualize for myself. This is just a way in, but now we're opening like so many different paths to go down through. So this is just the beginning. You know, for everybody that's going to tune into this interview, I can't wait for you guys to see like what we worked on, but there's so much more to come. This is just like how we're starting off right now.